I think Boris Johnson there described staying in the single market and having free movement as a great deal. Now, those of us who live in Great Britain, as opposed to the Northern Irish part of the United Kingdom, are not staying in the single market, and we're not retaining freedom of movement. So if being in the single market with freedom of movement is a great deal, no one's going to suggest that losing those two attributes is better than having them. Did Boris Johnson just unintentionally, and he looked a little exuberant in the footage, I don't know if you've seen it, I wonder whether he's just unintentionally suggested that our current arrangements as European Union members are superior to the ones that he negotiated as the terms of our departure. So what did you hear? What did he say? It's 11 minutes after 11. That little bit there, the little clip there, freedom of movement and staying in the city, it's a great deal. And look, he may have spoken... He's a prime minister on the campaign trail, so possibly this isn't necessarily ideal. He may have spoken unwisely. He may have spoken off the cuff, so to speak. But if what he appears to have said is true, then why is he persuading the rest of the United Kingdom to accept something less than great? I don't know. And if you are an expert or even an enthusiast for matters of international trade, the claim seems to be that there'll be no forms or paperwork, no checks. So if a truck pulls up at... Dmitry Grozobinski makes this point rather brilliantly. He's a sort of trade expert and living proof that the country really hasn't had enough of experts. But the Northern Irish port of Larne, right? If a truck pulls up at the Northern Irish part of Larne, and in the back of the truck you've got a washing machine made in Belfast, a washing machine made in Dublin, and a washing machine made in Beijing, right? Without any checks, without any paperwork, without any forms being filled in, how do you separate B and C? Or indeed A from B and C. So a washing machine made in Belfast, if I understood Boris Johnson correctly, a washing machine made in Belfast can make its way to Great Britain unchecked, untrammelled, unmolested. But a washing machine made in Dublin and a washing machine made in Beijing would need to be subject to custom checks. And he said there won't be any. So how will you be able to tell, without checking, whether that washing machine was made in Beijing, Dublin or Belfast? Now, I know, and I'm going to be mildly rude, but you'll allow me, I know that a certain type of Brexiter has already died of boredom. So what, just get on with it. Will of the people, 17.5. But this is reality. This is our possible future as described by our current and possible future Prime Minister. Crucially, I think he's just described staying in the single market and retaining freedom of movement as a great deal, which means that doing the opposite, i.e. leaving the single market and abolishing freedom of movement, must be the opposite of a great deal. And you can put whatever word you want there. It's a personal preference, isn't it? What's the opposite of great? I'll go for blinking awful. But then I would. So what did you hear then? Hit the numbers now, you will get through. I don't know that there is an alternative analysis. And this is actually relevant to the conversation in the last hour about bovine, binary, boneheaded tribalism. Because what people will hear now is not me saying, explain Boris Johnson's actual spoken words in a way that doesn't suggest he's accidentally admitted that leaving the European Union is a really bad idea. What you hear is, Team Boris Johnson, are you with him or against him? But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you to listen to the spoken words that came out of his mouth in public and tell me what he said about single market membership and freedom of movement.